and welcome to this week's PC Voyage. I'm Rainey Laviolette.
And I'm Andrew Doty.
Tonight, we have Jim Dilks with Bits and PCs, Bob Clements with PC Voyage News,
and myself with an interview with Bill Belmonte of Expert Imaging and Slide Systems. Bill recently started off with a XT computer and eventually migrated his way up to the supercomputer, so to speak, that he's using today. And here's that interview with Bill Belmonte.
You got it right.
Hi, I'm Andrew Doty. I'm here with Bill Belmonte of Expert Imaging and Slide Service, and we're going to talk a little bit basically about how he got started with his basic home computer, and it excelled into what you see before you today. Hi Bill, how's everything?
Very good, Andy.
I understand that you started on an IBM XT. How long ago did you purchase that machine?
I believe it was 1986.
Okay, and
purchase.
how much did you start off really slow with it and just add on components and eventually bring it up to be able to do more impressive products?
Yes, we started out with a XT with 640 megabytes of space on the motherboard, and we added a 40 megabyte hard disk drive to it, a mouse, tablet, and other things.
Okay, and what types of jobs did you do with the XT? Did you start off with the XT?
We started off by doing slide imaging for companies like Price Waterhouse, Monsanto, and the electric companies and atomic power plants.
What would companies want with a slide image, or what would they do with it if you were to attract people? Why would they want these slides? Why would they want to come to you?
As you know, people are afraid of making speeches, and they always have to have notes and stuff like that. And slides are their cue cards. They can show an image on the screen and ad-lib off the image. And by showing a picture along with type and talking about it, people will remember a lot more, and the speaker will come across being very professional.
Okay. What types of computer are you using now? We know you started off with the XT. What machine do you use now, obviously, because you've excelled a great deal in the industry?
This is about my fifth machine I have right now. Right now I'm using a 486 running at 50 with 32 megabytes of RAM, with 3 gigabytes of hard disk space, with a Mona Lisa 16 million color graphic board, and JPEG compression boards and other things.
So it's obvious that you've definitely come a long way from 40 megabytes to 3 gigabytes, from 640K to 3 megabytes, or 32 megabytes. Do you see that you will have to continue increasing as you feel that this eventually will be obsolete as well, that you may outgrow this?
Funny thing you ask that. This machine is only 3 months old. I have a new machine being built right now, which I should take delivery of next week. That's faster than this machine, will hold more than this machine, and other things. Plus, I've also ordered another machine to make that machine obsolete already, and that's going to have 128 megabytes of RAM in it.
So you're definitely gonna be upgrading as time goes on.
Every 3 or 4 months there will be a new machine in here.
With what types of slides? I mean, you can take in images, I understand, as well, and touch up the images?
Yes, we do a lot of photo retouching and enhancing of graphics and pictures and everything like that. We can scan up to 11 by 17 flat images, which takes about 35 to 40 megabytes. We also have a Nikon scanner that scans 35 millimeter transparencies at 6,000 lines per inch, and that is about 80 megabytes per image. And when you have 2 or 3 pictures on a slide, as you can see right off the bat, you're up almost to 200 megabytes per image file.
All right, with the, obviously you can take in an image and scan it in here. What about if somebody had an image that was already created, let's say a Corel Draw image or whatever? Could you image that onto a slide or onto a negative or
Yes,
whatever?
we can. We can scan. We can output it at 2,000 lines per inch, 4,000 lines per inch, or 8,000 lines per inch onto a color negative or transparency. We also will, in the near future, have the capability of putting it onto a 4x5 color negative or color transparency, also an 8x10 color negative or color transparency, which can be used for pre-press. Right now, I have customers that have taken 35mm slides and using them for pre-press images and save themselves a tremendous amount of money, like thousands of dollars per job.
So essentially they could take the image and it would be photo ready for
Reproduction or for Christmas cards or posters. A lot of people are taking and having 3 or 4 posters made, big ones, just to save a lot of money. They use me.
So a small business could, if they were perhaps attending a trade show or no matter what it be, an automotive store to a hardware store or even a clothing goods store, could bring an image over here, have you scan it, edit it, and produce it into a standard poster.
Yes.
For advertisement on their walls or pass out to customers or whatever.
Plus we can put type in it. We have over 250 fonts of type, and we can enhance it, distort, change, 3D, anything that the imagination can go wild.
And again, if they had the image created, they could bring it to you and have you produce the image for them. So if they had some basic computer knowledge and had the proper software and hardware, you could produce that for them?
Yes, and I also do stuff for other people that are in the same business as I am. I can take their imperfect image and enhance it and make it a lot better than they could do because of this high-tech equipment. I'm a beta test site for many different software companies and hardware companies. I do stuff for Presentation Express, ImageIn, and I just became a certified service bureau for Aldus.
Okay, so if somebody had, let's say, a PageMaker or one of their respective softwares, you could produce the output for them.
I have hundreds of packages of different software that I can image from. So almost any platform, from mainframe to PC to Mac, I can take those files and image them for people.
Bill, why don't you give us a little demonstration of what you can do here?
Okay, I'll take this folder here, which has some prints in it, and we'll scan this on it, which is not a bad image. It's a little imperfect, but we can correct it. So let's do it. Right now we'll take this. It's just like a regular copy machine. It's a nice little flatbed scanner that takes 11 by 17 inches, and we'll scan it. I'll just take something off the menu that says scan. Takes a few seconds to digest it, and we'll just we'll just scan it. When this file is scanned at 300 lines per inch, it will be about 35 megabytes of information. And if I had a machine that was slower, it would take a long time. And in this business of taking images that are imperfect and correcting them, time is very valuable. As you can see, it's putting the image on the screen in a small way. It'll process it and redraw it. And there we are. We have our image. I'll just make it a little bit smaller. And there it is. And you just crop it like that. That's all there is to it, really. Well, let's take a 35mm slide and scan it in a nighttime scanner. This is going to scan it at about 6,000 lines per inch, and it'll also be about 79 to 80 megabytes of digital information. And right now it's doing the red filter exposure, and it'll do a green and blue. And those three colors will make up a process image, which we will then take and manipulate, make those special effects on. 5 years ago, this was impossible to do on a computer, but today it's almost commonplace. It's at a point now where everybody can do scanning on their computer, especially with the new and faster machines coming out all the time. And there we go, 90% done already. Well, let's take this image and do some things with it. Just move it over here. And we'll do some special effects. And here we go. If you had to take a slide, a picture, and give it to an artist and say, hey, I want this into a charcoal painting, it'd take him hours. And there we are already. And we can do other things. There we go. There's a little texture there, colors change, what we want to do with it. We can just keep doing special effects just about instantly. Now we have a grainy effect, and we can just keep going. Now we have a like a checker embossed pattern on it, a little bit of a psychedelic posterization effect. Here we've gone through 4 or 5 images already, which would have taken an artist days to do, and everyone would have been different colors and been paint all over the place. And artists and art directors come in here and with ideas, and they create it on the computer, and they walk out with a 35mm slide in their hand, and they can give it to a printer and have it reproduced, saving thousands of dollars in pre-press manipulation. And they actually see the effect on the screen instantly. No, every 30 seconds, every minute, they have a completely different image. If they want to change the colors, they can do it. There is no one software program that does everything. And right here, I must have 30 different software programs on this gigabyte of hard disk space, and there's 3 of them in there. Well, Annie, now we got all the images in the order that we want to image them onto 35mm film. And by just taking this and going to the file and pushing print, and it's off and running. And the output will be a 35mm slide, which takes about 5 minutes to image each one of these things. And this is one of the reasons you have to have RAM in a computer to cue all the stuff in and to keep it going. So as it's coming off the hard disk, it's going into RAM and going out into the film recorder at 8,000 lines per inch. And with 16 million colors to choose from, with a photographic quality image, they can use this in pre-press for printing or for slide presentations or posters or whatever you want to use the image for. We can take anybody's file that's good or imperfect and output a 35mm slide.
Well, we'd like to take this time to thank Bill Belmonte for inviting us over to his home office and showing us just how things are done. Thank you very much, Bill.
Thank you, Andy.
And remember, that old XT or that old computer sitting in the corner may be worth a little more than you think. So anyway.
Were you impressed with the setup that Bill had?
That was a powerhouse. I'd sure hate to be paying his electric bill, though.
I'm sure. What kind of storage did he have on that thing?
A little over a gigabyte, I believe.
And you know, it's funny because the old adage is always, if you have it, you'll use it. And I'm sure with some of the images that he's producing, he's probably using a good percentage of that.
In several hundreds of megabytes each, so
It's
definitely.
unimaginable. After the trivia question, Bob Clements will be up with PC Voyage News. Very nice job.
Here are this week's computer trivia questions. Number 1. What is the edit key for Alt 1, 2, 3? And number 2. What key displays the last plus command?
You know, with all its storage media and everything else that Bill Belmonte has, you figure you might be able to lend Chip some and get him a decent voice for a change.
You're still hung up on that storage, huh?
Yeah, I know. And next up, Bob Clements with PC Voyage News.
Actually, now here is Bob Clements with PC Voyage News, but I won't.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to PC Voyage News. Dell Computer reports that its profits rose 77% in the second fiscal quarter, which ended August 2nd. The PC maker says it earned $22 million, compared with $12.4 million in the same period last year. Sales climbed 129% to $457 million, from $200 million in 1991. This was the largest year-to-year sales increase we've reported since our company went public more than 4 years ago, says Dell Chairman Michael Dell. We've had to moderate our marketing activities consistent with our ability to meet demand. Novell is reporting a 53% gain in profits for its third fiscal quarter, which ended on August 1st. Software Publishers' profits rose to $66 million, up from $43 million in the same period last year. Revenue climbed 45% from $168 million in 1991's third fiscal quarter to $243 million this year. Novell is crediting increased sales in its network products and services for the strong showing. It also says that robust sales of Dr. DOS or DR-DOS, its DOS-compatible operating system, contributed positively to its bottom line. The rate of shrinkage in the U.S. electronics employment slowed in the quarter ended June 30th, reports the American Electronics Association. The AEA says employment fell by 15,000 jobs, or 0.6% in the quarter, bringing job losses for the year to 55,000. The industry lost 40,000 in the first quarter of the year, says the Trade Association of Electronics Companies. The total job loss since the industry's peak employment month of August 1989 is 265,000, a more than 10% drop, says the AEA. It notes that this year's second quarter job loss is the smallest in 7 quarters. WordStar is reporting a net loss of $4.9 million on revenues of $41.8 million for its fiscal year ended June 30th. Compared to the previous fiscal year, WordStar's revenues increased 17% and its losses decreased 35%. WordStar's new approach, document processing, is a diversified product strategy that's already reaping dividends and will help WordStar become profitable over the long term. Ron Posner says the diversification strategy means that WordStar will have revenues in excess of $20 million from non-word processing based products next year. Commodore International stock lost nearly 25% of its value Wednesday after the computer maker reported its loss of $21.9 million in the fourth fiscal quarter. The Westchester, Pennsylvania-based company's stock fell $2.25 to $6.87 at the close of regular trading Wednesday on the New York Stock Exchange. Commodore blames the loss on the discontinuation of its low-end DOS products and slower European sales of its venerable Commodore 64 personal computer. IBM and Sears have announced that they will combine their computer network services. A new company, Advantis, will provide both voice and data transmission services to large businesses. The firm will offer service to 550 cities in 92 countries. Advantis will employ 1,500 workers from IBM and an equal number from Sears. IBM will own a majority stake in the venture. The company will be headquartered in Schaumburg, Illinois, outside of Chicago, and expects to begin operation by the end of the year. It will initially have more than 9,000 customers and 1 million users. Motorola and Infocus are forming a joint venture to develop LCD screens in the U.S. Nearly all of the world's high-resolution LCDs are currently made in Asia. The new manufacturing facility will be based in the Portland, Oregon area. It will allow the two companies to apply in-focused high contrast and low-cost active addressing technology to a wide range of portable computer and communications display products. Infocus will hold an 80% stake in the joint venture. The plant is set to begin building LCDs by the end of 1994. Portions of the PC Voyage News, courtesy of Prodigy Service. Good evening.
But, you know, Bob Clements has been far more interesting this year, and it helps that he's in another room with a whole new set that we can't even see what he's talking about.
No idea. I haven't even seen the set yet.
I know, isn't that amazing? I think it's this one. After Chip brings us the trivia answer, we'll have Jim Dilks with Bits and PCs.
What was the little...
Here are this week's computer trivia answers. Number 1. The edit key for Alt 1, 2, 3 is the F2 function key. The F3 function key displays the last plus command.
And now, our omniscient man of PC Voyage, Jim Dilks with Bits and PCs.
That's not very nice to say, I don't think.
Ready? Tonight we're going to be discussing the assign command. Let's say that, here we have our assign command, that you have just purchased a disk and it wants you to, it has to be loaded in drive A. It came on a 3.5-inch floppy, and all you have in that mode is the B drive. Well, you can change your A drive to B drive, or, like we're going to do here, you can change your C drive to B drive. So if we hit return, the machine now reassigns the B drive to equal the C drive. Now, in order to remove the assign command, you go ahead and type in just the assign itself, and it will remove itself out of memory, and it reassigns it. Another way of doing this is you can also use the substitute command, and this will allow you to substitute a logical drive for a subdirectory. First, I'm going to build a subdirectory called Jim, and then we're going to substitute B colon for this drive. Now, if we take a directory of the drive, there is absolutely nothing in it because we have just created it. So this is the subdirectory. It says it's right now that it's B colon, but it's actually the subdirectory. Okay, now this command right here, substitute B colon /D, will remove the subdirectory, not the subdirectory, but remove the substitute from memory. And that's all I have for this evening, gentlemen.
Omniscient man of technology. I know Jim does a good job, but omniscient man of technology. If you'd like to see more different ideas on PC Voyage, it takes suggestions from you. We're going to give you our address here, and Chip's going to read it to you. Not very well, but he does the job that he can. And it's important for us that we hear from you so that we know what kind of topics are important to you. So here's Chip with the address, and we'll be right back after that.
If you have any questions, or if you have any comments about the show, please write to us. Our address is PC Voyage, P.O. Box 6295, Holyoke, Massachusetts, 01041. We appreciate hearing from you.
I think we're back. We're never quite sure around here. They don't really give us great information. You know, I've had this thing sitting here all night, and it's a 350 megabyte bit bucket. You ever want to know where to store memory? This is where memory is stored, in a little bit bucket. Actually, what it is it's a pencil holder that I used to have attached to the monitor on my desk. But inside of it, Andy and I go to a lot of computer fairs, and sometimes I'll pick up something really interesting if I can get these words out. Computer World, a couple of shows ago, had some neat little buttons, and some of them, they put little computer sayings on them. I don't know if you guys are tight enough on this or not. This one says, "I think, therefore I land." You know, little cute little sayings. This one says, "What kind of spool am I?" Have I got you confused yet? This one says, "ROM wasn't built in a day." Don't roll your eyes, these are really cute. You'd like this one, "Disk Space, the final frontier."
Okay, on that note,
I've got more, you don't want to see the rest of them?
I think we'll bid you a fond adieu. I'm Andrew Doty.
And I'm Randy Laviolette.
Until next week. I couldn't let you away.